Good morning, everyone. My name is Cassandra Williams of Cassandra Williams Enterprise, and this is your morning tea. We come out here and we help wives, busy professional women, and kingdom leaders build the life that they've always dreamed of and live there. God said in John 10:10, I came that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. And that word abundance means to the full till it overflows. And for so many years, y'all, I've lived beneath that privilege. And so what I do is I come out here and I help you not make the mistakes that I made, right? And so we have been talking about keeping our vows, maintaining those. Um, Good morning, Leah. Thanks for coming in, sis. Maintaining our stance, even when it's tested, even in the midst of trials and the big storms, because sometimes, y'all, we just don't like, we're not getting our way. Okay, let's just be honest. Sometimes we don't like when things aren't going our way, and we can be selfish. Good morning, Anita. We can be selfish creatures sometimes, but we're talking about when the vow is tested, when it's really testing time, and God is saying, are you going to do what you said? Are you going to stay? Are you going to cleave? Are you a woman or a man of your word? Because we will hold God accountable. God, you said, Lord, you said you was going to bless me. Lord, you said you were going to do X, Y, and Z. Father, we'll remind God. But what happens when God comes and say, but you said, use me, Lord. Lord, I feel like I'm always being used. You told me to use you. I give myself away so you can use me. And then we murmur and we complain and we fuss, right? And so yesterday we had an amazing time on yesterday, and we were talking about fail out loud, that we were going to go all out in the things that God has told us to do, even if it doesn't work. We were going to fail out loud. We were going to be vulnerable. We were going to allow people to see our scars, because they were going to be able to, one, they were going to learn from it. Two, we were going to learn from it, right? We were going to be that example. And so we want to stay in that vein today of follow the leader. I remember growing up, that was one of the games that we played, because we played outside, right? And so we had to use our imagination. And so we came up with games like the goose, follow the leader, where you had to get up and you had to follow exactly where, the steps that they made. You had to do exactly the steps. You had to do exactly what they did. And as I was laying there last night, just before God, he was like, follow the leader. And I literally saw, people walking, and just these swarms of people coming in behind this one person. They weren't really saying anything, they were just walking, and their example was drawing. And so as God began to speak, he said, follow the leader. And he took me to 1 Corinthians 11:1. Follow my example as I follow the example of Christ. And so sometimes, y'all, that's not sometimes, but that is what I really that's what I live by. It's like, look, follow me as I follow Christ. If I'm not following Christ, then you are not. No, don't follow me, right? Because I want to be pleasing to him. There have been times in my life, like I said, I don't always get it right. There are times where I was like, don't follow me. People remember there was a season where I was like, no, you don't want to follow me right now. Nope, I'm not. I'm not the one. I'm not the one to be able to minister to you right now, because I understood where I was, and I'm always very cognizant and conscious of the gift that God has given me. And if I'm not where I'm supposed to be, I know I'm accountable for leading you in the wrong direction. And so I don't take that lightly. I don't want your blood on my hands that I'm leading you into a place. So, Coach, what are you saying? There comes a time where you're going to have to follow somebody. Somebody is going to have to help you come from where you are. No man is an island. We cannot do this by ourselves. And so often we fall back on, it's just me against the world. No, that is not the way God created us to be. He created us to be relational. He created us so that, we would be able to draw strength one from another. He said it's not good for man to be alone. And he created woman, right? Because he meant for us to be in community. That community. And so many times though, that spirit of division, that spirit of backbiting, that spirit of um control, that spirit of comparison has come in and made us turn against one another, where we're supposed to be helping one another move forward. Now we're pulling each other apart. And so we're going to look at the story of Ruth when we're talking about the following the leader. It's going to be a couple of parts to this one, because I'm going to have to break it up because it's too much to do in one session. Okay, but we're talking about following the leader. We're talking about you having to submit yourself to someone else to say, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. And when we look at the story of Ruth was a Moabite woman. She was born in Moab. Naomi, Elimelech, and their kids moved to Moab because of famine. When famine hit the land of Bethlehem, Judah, they ran. They went somewhere else. They was like, "Nah, I'm good. We're gonna move down over here. We're not gonna stay. We can't ride this out." So they moved to Moab. And while in Moab, Ruth married one of Naomi's sons. Well, while they were in Moab, Elimelech and the two sons died. I just want to give you a little bit of back history here. So the sons die. So Ruth is a widow. Okay? Just because your spouse passed away doesn't mean your life is over. Okay? It doesn't mean your life has to end there. You're still here amongst the living. There is still life in you. So you have to shake yourself sometimes. And you may have to, you like, coach, listen, it's hard, it's easier said than done. I understand that, right? Um, and so she was like, you know what? And so when Naomi heard that God was blessing his people, she's like, I'm going home. I don't have anything. I don't have any ties to Moab, other than grief, other than sadness, other than bitterness. I don't owe Moab nothing. So she was like, I'm going home. And so when she decided she was gonna, and I'm paraphrasing y'all, and she decided she was gonna go home, right? And when she decided she was gonna go home, Orpah and Orpah and Ruth said, we're going with you. And she was like, no, you're not. I don't even know where I'm gonna lay my head. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get there. All I know is I'm hoping God is gonna have mercy on me when I get back there, and it's gonna be okay. And they said, no, we're not gonna leave. And so sometimes when I've heard this message about Orpah gets a bad rap, y'all. But the first time that Naomi said, look, go back home to your family, Orpah said, no, I'm not going. Ruth said, no, I'm not going. I'm going to follow you. I'm going with you. I'm going where you go. And she looked at him again and she said, now look, even if I had a baby today, she said, I'm too old to be getting married again. But even if I had a baby today, if I had a son today, are you going to wait for him? I don't have anything to offer you. Are you going to wait for him to grow up and then marry him? Why would you want to go with me? Because I don't have anything for you. And so Orpah said, you know what? She thought about that thing and she said, you know what? You might be right. So she told him, she said, go back home to your mother. And Orpah kissed her and she said, okay, you make a valid point. She went back home and she stayed. But Ruth replied, don't urge me to leave you or turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. And where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. She said, look, stop telling me to go somewhere. I ain't going nowhere. Because here's the thing. Ruth was like, look, I understand what you're saying, that you don't have something to give me, But here's the thing, where we're going, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not staying right here. What was waiting for her there? Pain, hurt, her grief. What was she supposed to do? Sit there and pine away? She didn't, she knew Moab. She was born in Moab. So for her, she was like, look, I'd rather go and see what God is doing, your God is doing, because look, I remember the stories of what y'all told me. I remember how y'all talked about what it was in yesteryear. So you know what? I'm gonna take my chances with you. I'm going to take my chances of going back. Good morning, Sophia. Thanks for coming in, sis. I'm going to take my chances because Moab, that ain't, nah, that's not working. That's not going to work for me. And so she followed Naomi. She had no obligation to Naomi, but something within her, I have to believe that there was something in her and said there is more for you. There is yet more. I understand where you are right now. I understand the situation that you're in, but there is more. And that more that was pulling, that more inside of her was calling her, was beckoning her. And so she had to follow the leader, y'all. She didn't know anything about their customs. She didn't know other than what she had been told. And so when she got over there, she had to still listen to Naomi to be like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? And when Naomi got there, they was like, Naomi, Naomi. They were so happy to see her. You came home. You came home. And she said, no, don't call me Naomi. Call me Myra, because I'm bitter. Have you ever come back bitter? Have you ever looked at your situation and you were like, look, this ain't, they come and they say, woman of God, and you're like, don't call me that. They call you man of God, and you're like, ooh, mm-mm, mm-mm. You don't understand where I've been. You don't understand what I've been through. They call you intercessor. They call you the prophets. They start to decree and declare, and they start to speak over you good things, and you start saying, don't call me that, because I'm not her. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know where I've been. And so sometimes we get stuck, but Ruth didn't get stuck in that place. She wasn't stuck in, that I lost my husband. And no, she was like, okay, this is a new place. What are we supposed to be doing in this place? What are we supposed to be doing in this hour? What are we supposed to be? And she said, look, I'm gonna go, you're here. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna find some work. And when she went out to find work in chapter 2, as it turned out, she was working in a field belonging to Boaz, who was from the clan of Elimelech. Now, what's her father-in-law's name? Elimelech. Now, how you just happen to go to the very field when your steps are ordered? Because she said, you know what, I'm going to go where you go. Your God will be, Naomi, your God is going to be my God. So when she cleaved to Naomi, when she started following the leader, when Naomi said, look, God blessing over here, so I'm going to take my chances with God and I'm going to go back home. When she started walking in that light, Ruth started following her. And as Ruth began to follow her, then God began to order her steps. Her steps were ordered to the very field where Elimelech was. And it didn't stop there, y'all. She found favor in Boaz's field. When she got to the field of her kinsman redeemer, the person that had what she needed, God ordered our steps. She didn't pick him. She didn't say, oh, she didn't go around asking everybody, oh, where's Boaz? Where's Boaz's field? I need to be in his field. No, she went out and she was just working in the field, and he just happened to be there, and he just happened to see her, and he just happened. You remember yesterday we were talking about those suddenlies? Remember those suddenlies we were talking about? So you just happened to be in the right field. You just happened to meet up with the right person. You just happened to make that right contact because you were following the leader. You were following the person that God said, I need you to follow them. I need you to glean from them. I need you to watch them. Y'all, and I'm not saying that you're going to be everybody, you're going to be in everybody's face. You're going to be in their inbox. You got to be on their phone. I'm not saying that. There are people, y'all, that I watch. They don't even know they're my mentor, but I watch them from afar. They my mentor, they my sister friend in my head. But I know for me, it took a village. There was a season in my life, my pastor didn't have my answer. Can I be honest with some of you? My pastor did not have my answer. He was part of my process. Don't get me wrong, and I love my church, but my pastor was not the person that was going to lead me into my next place. Another that I had to connect with that could jumpstart me because I was sitting there, but I was dead. I was like a dead battery. I was just sitting there, wasn't going nowhere, wasn't doing nothing, nothing. And you'll hear me talk about my experience that when I met Pastor Kimberly Jones, I met her on Periscope, y'all. I met her online. She was in Atlanta, but our paths had never crossed. And the first time that I went, I surprised her at an event. And the first time that she hugged me, I literally felt like electricity ran through my body, like somebody was jump starting a battery. And my life changed forever. And so you may not, like, now we can't, it's COVID-19. We can't be running up, hugging people and doing all of that. But you can have one conversation. You can have one encounter with the right person, and your life changes forever because you're willing to follow the leader. She had to do exactly what Naomi told her to do. And after she was found in the field, she still had to listen. She couldn't say, "Oh, I got this. I know, I know what to do to get a man." No, you don't know the customs. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing. You don't know the way on this level. And so she had to go to her and she said, "Look, what I want you to do is I want you to go. And after he gets through eating, don't let him see you. Get up, clean yourself off, put on some perfume. Don't let him see you till after he's through eating. After he's finished eating, then when he goes in and he lays down, uncover his feet. Don't lay beside him, lay at his feet. And when he wakes up, he'll tell you what to do." Now, see, some of us, that's where we would have a problem. You want me to what? You want me to go lay at his feet? And then I got to do what he tell me to do? She didn't ask any questions. She got up, she got dressed, she went to the threshing floor. When he laid down, she uncovered his feet. She laid at his feet. When he woke up, he said, "Here, take the bottom part of your garment and just cover my feet." Can you follow the leader? Can you follow the instructions? Because her vow was, "I'll go where you go," right? "I'll stay where you stay. And my people will be your people, and my God will be your God." She made a vow to Naomi that she had to keep. And when she made that vow, she changed her life. So sometimes, y'all, your deliverance, your lifeline is connected to the vow that you're making. You've got to keep your vow to yourself. You got to keep your vow to God. You've got to keep your vow to others. And because she went back, because Naomi was like, I'm too old. Ruth marries Boaz. She has a baby, and she brings that baby, and Naomi begins to nurse it. Naomi begins to take care of it. Naomi begins to heal through Ruth, the Moabite woman, the woman that owed her nothing. The woman that said, I'll cleave to you. The woman that said, I will follow the leader. Good morning, Brother Michael. Thanks for coming in. She said, I'll follow the leader. She understood that Naomi had something that she needed, that Naomi was going to a place that she needed to go. She didn't understand everything. She didn't know every step. She didn't know how to do their customs and, their traditions. She didn't know that, but she was willing to learn. Are you willing to learn in this season? Are you willing to do it differently? Are you willing to follow the leader in order to get the things that God is saying you're supposed to have? Are you willing to follow the leader to have that good marriage? Are you willing to follow the leader to get that good man? Are you willing to follow the leader for God to be able to restore? Are you willing to follow the leader for God to redeem? Are you willing to follow the leader? Even if it's not who you thought it would be. Y'all, I've had to follow some people I've never even, I met them online, but they had what I needed. And when we connected, I was like, that's it. And God said, follow them. God said, connect with them. God said, glean from them. My mentor, Tina Moore Global, God is like, stay close. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's in North Carolina. I'm in Georgia. But he said, stay close. And I know what I heard when I heard it. And I've stayed close. I watched her from afar for a long time. And some of you, that's the way you are with me. You've been watching me from afar for a long time. And I'm okay with that. But when God tells you to get close, I need you to do what you need to do, right? Some things are taught, others are caught, and you got to be close to catch it. There's a lot I can teach you by you coming into my lives. But there's nothing like coming into a room and having a conversation with me. Now, I've never lost a spouse. I've never been in that place where I had to rebuild from that type of loss. But can I tell you that Elder Cheryl Singletary has? And that she's going to be in the building. She's going to be in the room. She's going to be in the place when the vow is tested. And she's going to share her story with you all of how God restored her, how she had to be that woman and she had to hang up her widow's garment to be able to receive the new thing that God had for her. What does it feel like when you've been sick so long? You've been sick longer than you've been well. Pastor Cassandra Elliott is going to come and minister to you from that place to let you know that God is still God and God is still true. Through cancer, kidney transplants. We ain't talking about no cold, y'all. We're not talking about the flu. We're not talking about minor surgery. We're talking about years of waiting on a transplant list. You want to get in the room when the vow is tested. What happens when you don't have enough ends to meet? And you have to release what you have for God to give you greater. Minister Taronda Freeman is going to come in and she's going to minister to us for richer, for poorer. And then Minister Sylvia Reed is going to come and she's going to talk to us. I want you to follow the leader. I'm not going to tell you I'm the only person you need to be following, but I'm going to tell you that I do have a part to play. What happens when it goes from bad to worse and you looking for good? Yeah. There are seasons in our life where we be like, listen, Lord, hey, you said in good and bad. I ain't seen the good yet. When the vow is tested. So I want you guys to get into the room with these amazing women that want to show you the way. They've navigated the waters. That they know what it's like to go through a divorce. They know what it's like to be sick. They know what it's like to go without. They know what it's like to have to bury their husband. They know what it's like. And they want to help you navigate. bit.ly/thou test. You want to get into the room. This is a clarion call for women, wives, single women, widowed women, separated women, divorced women. Listen, coach, it's complicated. Women, I want if you consider yourself and you wear it like a badge of honor, if you call yourself the side chick, I want you to get in the room. bit.ly vow test. We want to talk to you as well. We want to be wise wives that know how to build. So husbands, get your wives into the room. Bless them. Give it to them as a gift. Because these stories, these testimonies, they're going to bless you. Well, coach, I ain't never been cheated on. I ain't never been mad. He don't do none of that. But you know what? I have a hard time finding the balance between my family life and my church life. I kind of lean more towards my church life and I'm neglecting my family life. Well, coach, I just got so much going on. I just can't find my peace, the calm in the midst of all this chaos. You want to get into the room. bit.ly/vow test. These ladies' stories are powerful. I know each one of them personally. God handpicked them for such a time as this to share with you. They're going to be transparent. You're going to be able to ask questions. You're going to be able to grow from their stories. So follow the leader. You have to be able to say, look, I don't have all the answers, and be able to submit yourself and sit at the feet of others that have been where you're trying to go. You can always go out and recreate the wheel, but why would you want to do that when it's already been done? I'm going out and I'm going to develop a tire. Baby, you can just go to the tire shop. When the vow is tested, why are you trying to navigate by yourself? Why are you trying to figure it out by yourself? Do I leave? Do I cleave? Do I stay? Do I go? What do I need to do? Come in the room. Get into the room. It's going to change your life. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here today. For this edition of the Morning Tea, I hope something was said that you feel equipped, you feel empowered, you feel encouraged, you feel educated to act. That you're really going to look at your situation. Some of you are going to go click that button and you are going to register for when the vow is tested, because you know you need to get into the room with these powerful ladies. We're going to be 5 weeks, y'all. I'm not giving you 5 days. I'm not going to make you just kind of digest it all at one time. You're going to have time to communicate, time to discuss, time to evaluate, time to really apply this information to your life. Okay? So have an amazing day. If you need more information, you can go to my website, www.thecassandrawilliams.com. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. Okay? I love you guys. Let me check these. Thanks, Brother Michael. Amen. You guys have an amazing day. Talk to you later. Thank you to my replay viewers, those people that got here by a tag, a share, or an invite. I am Cassandra Williams, your victory coach. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.